Drill Down Show from U.S. Fleet Tracking. Hello there, along with Rich Davis, resident expert here and longest standing employee at U.S. Fleet Tracking. We've got Megan Hunter, Brian Trumbley handling chat and the production. I'm Mark Bravo. Hope you joined us for GPS Tracking Academy. That was a look at the entire system, U.S. Fleet Tracking's live GPS tracking system and solution, all the software. Now, the Drill Down Show takes you more into one particular aspect of the system, and today it's 5 tips to fleet maintenance, and we'll go into a couple of things there. First of all, the entree to the show. We have Crackerjack Tech Support Crew, 405-726-9900 here, live representation. The hours Monday to Friday of 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Central Time, on Saturdays 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Central. There's your phone number. You'll want to see any shows, any of our library that is archived, please go to youtube.com/US Fleet Tracking. That's youtube.com/US Fleet Tracking. And mentioning tech support, there's an important announcement we have. We want to make sure that you have upgraded from 2G to 3G, all your devices, as December 31st of this year. That's December 31st, 2016. AT&T is cutting out they are terminating all their 2G service. So we want you to have uninterrupted service with your tracking solution. So if you haven't either transferred to 3G, we urge you to call quickly as possible. We don't want to bump up against that deadline of December 31st. And if maybe you don't know if you've updated all your devices, call us. We'll tell you right away if you're up to speed or have a few others to do. And we have a few promotions going on which will help that be much more seamless and save you some money doing it here. But time is of the essence. Do it as quickly as you can, and you'll be comfortable that you're up to speed with 3G tracking from that point. So again, you can call tech support or your sales representative for any of that information. And am I having trouble finishing sentences or what, Rich? I guess it's lunch. Friday afternoon, yes, and lunch just happened. But we want to remind you, thanks to those viewing Facebook Live, we are on there, and you can always catch us there. And we've got liking us on Facebook, following us on Twitter, very important. You can really see what's going on inside the company and give your suggestions as to where we might up our game there and give you more service. So we appreciate you filling out those surveys. They're short, and they also help us a lot know what you're thinking. So with that, the Drill Down Show, and we're talking about quick tips to fleet maintenance.
That's right.
You want to get that rolling, Rich? A lot of folks wonder how hard it is to set up maintenance alerts on your vehicles, and I tell them whether you have a fleet of 1 or 500, we have no limits. You can set them up, and unless you want to change the parameters or delete them, they are there for the duration.
Yeah,
it's very easy, very quick.
Until you're done with them and you want to have them removed, they'll be there.
That's right. So you want to give us a scenario of one and walk us through it, please?
Absolutely. So what you do is when you log into your system, a few tips that we have is, one of the big ones is going to be that maintenance alert like we were just talking about. So if you come down to alert notifications, you click on that, and then you go to alerts. You can see we have a couple created here, but those are geofences. But we go and we hit create, and this time we want to go all the way down to maintenance. Now this is where you can come down to, and this is where you can save a lot of money to the company, because now you can, make sure that your cars are up to date, that they're being maintained really well. So we can just come here, we can just go, oil change. Now this is where you add your contacts. So if you have multiple people that you want to add, this way you can do it, or you can just have the one. You want to hit add recipient, hit that drop down. And then now this is where you can either have it send an email and or an SMS text message. Also before, I think I skipped that a little bit and I apologize, on those devices, you can have it for all vehicles, individual vehicles, or even groups. So maybe if you have maybe equipment and you want to do, because we can also do hours, You can have specific equipment that will have the alert, and then you can have for miles for those oil changes. So once you have your devices and then you have your recipients to who it will contact, now you add your condition. Now add your condition. This is where we have the once, or we have every time. Now that once can be really good because that's like maybe your brake changes. You know, I'd say you got to change your brakes every so many miles.
Right, doesn't
This
happen
does.
often.
Yep, exactly. I mean, and you don't want where all of a sudden, those rims get ruined and now it costs you hundreds of dollars on all your vehicles. So this is a really easy way to be able to tell there. So you put over here, warning conditions, maybe oil change, 3,000 miles. And then it alerts us at 3,500 miles. And again, as before, here's where if you want to put hours for equipment. So it's not just miles, but for the equipment.
Right, on those PTO devices, that maintenance is just as important and can cost just as much money if they're not monitored correctly.
Absolutely. I mean, all it takes is to save one vehicle and you've just paid for the system for years.
Oh, for years.
Yeah. So you come here, now you just hit add. As you can see, now it added that condition. You can even add another one. So now maybe let's do, like that one right there was actually once. So we'd want to go in there and go every time. Then hit add. So now here we add the condition. Maybe we want to do it one time. Let's say, I know one that I always like to bring up is the warranty. There's another maintenance one right there because you get a new vehicle and, at 30,000 miles, that warranty expires. Well, that can be really good because maybe at 25,000 miles, we want it to notify us because I want to take that vehicle in there and have it taken a look at because maybe a part could be going bad and now that warranty will pay for that part instead of coming out of your pocket. And then, it alerts us at, 28,000 miles.
And these are so crucial. I know at our household, a couple of vehicles, and we're still challenged to remember things like oil changes. You've got it all there. You got peace of mind that it will tell you. You set the warning because usually that first warning may not get you to act, but then you've got the alert coming up also.
Absolutely. I mean, the big thing too is it's peace of mind because, work hours can get so busy and it's hard. Hey, when were those oil changes? Go check the miles. The system itself will run for you. So you don't have to try to manually remember that or have a separate program that you have to set up those. You have your vehicles right here and now you can also set those alerts. And it also maintains those miles on those vehicles. So when it actually reaches those miles, it will alert you.
This is one of the value adds that some customers, because the system is looked at as a location-based asset, and of course it is, but then as you get more familiar with the system, you tend to start looking at the other features. You've seen this, being here roughly 10 years, so often with our clients that they start realizing there are other aspects of the system they can use that will work for them, and this is a key one.
Absolutely. This is the one, a lot of customers actually don't use this specific function, but the moment that it's been brought up to them or they find out about it, they start really digging into it because again, they realize there's no limit. You can have it on every one of your vehicles. We've even seen customers where they do it on their own personal vehicles. The owners start doing that. So it expands in so many different ways. And once you create those alerts, again, you're done with them. You don't have to constantly go back. All of a sudden, you'll just be sitting there one day and you'll get an alert on your phone saying, hey, so-and-so's oil change is due. And you can get that email so you can set maybe a follow-up task in your email. So it can vary in different areas.
And you may decide to have one particular or two individuals who handle the maintenance module, and it can be given a dedicated password because sometimes the entire system runs on a different password.
That's right. One tip I always like to bring up is that you can create multiple accounts.
Right.
You're not stuck to just one account. We've had it where maybe the maintenance guy has a specific account where he can see the vehicles and he can make sure and find out, hey, what vehicles are working. We get a lot of calls from the maintenance guy where the owner has his own separate account for his own alerts, reports, and then the maintenance guy has where he gets the alerts himself, knowing, hey, I need to work with this device, find out what's going on with this device, and they give us calls, and they have their own separate login.
You want certain access going to certain people.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
So once you create that maintenance, you'd want to hit save once you put in your conditions. And once you hit save, it's going to tell you when it's done, and now it's here. And once you're done there, now you want to go over to the device management tab. Now there's a couple different things here. One, you're going to have maintenance, And now this is where you come in there and you create your different current miles and initial miles. So this is important though, because then it adds up those miles, because as the device transmits, it's recording those miles. So then now it can be used here. So now we create an alert here. And then this is where you can also add your condition. You can have your different maintenance alerts there.
So you simply add the mileage starting
Correct.
out there.
Yep,
Okay.
that's right. So now once you've done that, the other function I always like to bring up, and a little tip that a lot of customers don't use, is under the device management, you have devices. So if you click on that, you now have this last update function. This is the last time the vehicle updated. And it's a really good way to also have maintenance on your fleet, because you can know which ones are being utilized and which ones might need to have taken a look at. Like I was mentioning earlier, we get a lot of calls from maintenance employees because they have their specific account and this is what they really keep track of. So they come here and they can look and they say, okay, all these vehicles are moving. This one right here, Unit 11 has updated since the 12th. Well, if they know that vehicle should be moving, now they know, okay, hey, let's take a look. And they can find out, oh, no, that one's in the shop, or, you know, the driver no longer has it right now. You know, you can find out different methods, or make sure you're getting the use out of the system. Maybe you need to go take a look at that tracking device and just make sure that it's still hooked up correctly and it's being used.
Yes.
So once you use the maintenance, again, there's so many different functionalities that you can use there. The ones I always like to bring up again is that oil change, the warranty, your brakes. There's a couple different things you can do there. And then also that device management. We can
There
now
you are.
keep track of your devices.
Those are two key ways that you can keep your fleet in tip-top shape, and rest assured that it's being monitored, even if not by humans, by the system.
Exactly.
Yes, and the system never takes a sick day.
No.
It's a cool thing.
Yep, with those scheduled reports and then the alerts, those are two different things that just automatically run itself.
Right.
Again, where you never have to log into the system.
All righty. We thank you again for being with us for the Drill Down Show today, and want to remind you, please get any 2G devices you have. If you've not upgraded all your 2G devices to 3G, please reach us as quickly as you can. We'll get you fixed up before that December 31st, 2016 termination date, when AT&T terminates all 2G service. Just call us at tech support 405-726-9900. The hours live Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Those are Central Times. Please remember to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Thanks to the Facebook Live crowd that's watching today as well. And remember those surveys. They help us immensely to know what you want, what you like from what you're seeing, and what we can brush up on. It's a very proactive company, and we have taken, as we mentioned in GPS Tracking Academy, some suggestions from clients and turned them into system-wide features.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, one thing I always say too is, you know, like going back and pulling up some of our older videos, it's interesting to see, you know, the things that we talked about at that time. And you look at so many months later, like what we have now,
You'll see what
we've added. Yeah.
Indeed, very good. And remember youtube.com/US Fleet Tracking for any of our library of archived videos. And from there, we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks for another GPS Tracking Academy and Drill Down Show. For Megan, for Brian, for Rich, I'm Mark. Have a great weekend, and thanks for being very loyal US Fleet Tracking customers. Have a great weekend.